Okay, we'll have to watch my $20 toy here. Um, if it's not green, it's not working. If it's green, it's working. But if it's not green, it's not working. Plus, be prepared for spoilers. Major, 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 huge, mind blowing spoilers. Saying that right off the end. Right now. She's not dead. Like, did you really think she was? And two, the war is over. Or is it? It took a really long time to figure this one out. And I would ask that you please check out my Star Trek Next Generation recaps on Fridays and my If Then videos on Friday if you like this author, then maybe like that author. No one is watching them. They're all out there. I did one on Black authors I'm really proud of. I got a wide variety of books. Um, I also did one on Native Americans with Hillerman books. And I reviewed Lost Birds. Please go check that out. And Anne Hillerman thanked me for my review. I was like, yes. And Julie McQuinn enjoyed my reviews of all her 6 books. I enjoyed those immensely. We just finished up with Victoria Thompson's Gaslight series. We're in the middle of James Patterson's Alex Cross series, um, C.S. Harris Sin series, and we are doing J.R. Ward's Black Dagger Brotherhood series. Welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Kristina. This is where we read books and talk about books. No special effects here, no theme music, none of that fancy schmancy stuff. What you see is what you get. And we've got some issues here. All right. I was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And it was like, when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? When is it going to happen? J.R. Ward introduces these little characters like this big. And she shows them periodically through many, many books. And then, like then they get a huge. They go from being in the background, wandering around, and then all of a sudden they're in your face. They're up and close and in your face. So that's what happened. They're in our face. All right. So we get Sin. He was with the band of bastards. He's with the guys that Zokar brought in to help with the lessers, help with the society fighting. And we've got one lesser walking around, Mr. F. And it took me a while to put it all together. And I'm binge reading, so I just did the other book yesterday. So I was a little we was so I was so filled with Trez and I am and this stuff. So we didn't see the well, we did see, but not till later. It took me a while to figure it out. So, we get Joe early again, and it was revealed a few books ago that she is Manny, Dr. Manuel, Jane's coworker sibling. And we knew that Manny is also related distantly to Butch and Wrath, very, very distantly. So we got this little piece of information about Joe a few books ago. And it just hung out there in the wind. And then this whole book, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And it's like, ah! So Sin is he's one of the bands of bastards, and he's um working as a hitman too on the side. He does killings and stuff. And we also learn, and I didn't put it together till later. Um in the last not the last well, I read the the Trez book. In the book before that, um, um, the thief, the thief. Um, the guy that had the Book of Shadows, and I made that big thing about the Book of Shadows, um, being Charmed, because every time I thought of Charmed or the Book of Shadows, I thought of the TV show Charmed. So this guy had the Book of Shadows, and in the end, he gets sucked into the book, and this woman gets released. And apparently, it's this lady Davina, but we don't find out till later her name. Um, but there's but let me see if I can back this up a little bit because I'm getting myself ahead of the situation. So we introduced to Sin. We've met him before, but this is more of a up close and personal, one-on-one. This is his book, and then we have Butch and V doing their things, and we know that Butch is the destroyer. It's his prophecy to end the destroyer, to end the Omega. He's the destroyer, and it's his prophecy to end the Omega. And they're fearing they're getting close to that particular juncture. And Butch wants to protect V at all costs. Then we check in with Joe early, and she was the newspaper reporter. And her coworker wife is having a miscarriage, and he's got to be in the hospital. And her boss is a racist and a bigot, and he doesn't believe that women should be doing this stuff. So they end up going back and forth for quite a few chapters, and Joe works the story for quite a few chapters, and in the end he just fires her outright. And so she does quite a bit of investigation, and Sin does his thing, and then they meet up, and they're slowly falling in love. And we have Davina walking around doing some stuff, and we have a lesser walking around doing some more stuff. And we also have this big revelation. I've got a coworker. Come here, coworker. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. I've got a coworker. Hi. I'm here to report on the book too. How was the book? Did you like the book? Meow meow. Meow meow. Okay, where was I? So Joe talks to Bill about Manny. And you know me, I like to share. And I did warn you up front, although this is kind of old news because we got this a couple of books ago. Um, oh, she sees his uh Dr. Manuel Manello, Chief of Surgery, St. Francis Medical Center. Bill had given her the picture and typed up a report on what he'd found when he looked into her birth mother, who had died during birth. It was a mystery solved, kind of, and the dark-haired man, he was her brother, who had strangely disappeared off the radar 18 months before, never to be seen or heard from again. Oh, 'cause she's sick. She doesn't know it, but she's gonna go through the transition soon. And that's why she went to the hospital, because she thought there was something wrong with her. And then the hospital calls it because she's half vampire. They can't. Her blood is weird, and the hospital wants her to come back to do more tests, but she never goes back. But then Butch is having some issues, and he goes to uh St. Patrick's Cathedral to do a little praying. And who does he run into? Oh, now you're being all cute. She's being all cute and I can't show it. Um, I just said it. Let's see. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Um, uh, he sees a nun. Sister, I'm so sorry. I gotta go. It's all right, my child. Follow your heart. It will never steer you wrong. The nun turned her head and looked up at him. Butch froze. The face that had stared at him was no one face. It was 100 female faces. The images shifting on top of each other, blurring into an optical illusion that wasn't all. From beneath the black folds of the habit, a brilliant cleansing light pooled on the floor, making the prayer stools glow. It's you, Birth breathed. You know you always were one of my favorites, the entity said as the faces smiled together. In spite of all the questions you asked me, now go and follow your impulses. You are correct in all of them, especially the one involving my son. Between one heartbeat and the next, the scribe virgin disappeared, but she left the glow of her goodness behind, the benefit illuminate of her presence remaining for a moment before it faded. Left alone once again, there was temptation to replay interaction, mine it for more clues, bask in the fact that he'd been sitting right next to the creator of the vampire race, that of everyone she had come to see, him. So let's get going over here. I want to see the other. Um, please tell me I wrote it down. So, Butch calls V and tells him he saw his mother. Um, oh, I didn't write it down. See, I know it's coming up because he does it right away. Uh, then what the hell was she doing in the Catholic Church tonight? Not talking to me, that's for sure. V asked in the soda bottle again. Come here, come here, come here. Oh, I have another coworker. Come on, read with me. You can dematerialize to me anywhere I am. I can't do that. I'm stuck with the ground game. You can be covered by a legion, and so can I when we're together. But if we lose you, it's all over. We are both equally important, but what I do has to be in the field. What you do can be done anywhere. Fair enough. Now get home. He's trying to protect V. And then Lassiter comes and does some more stuff. So I missed the actual page that I wanted to do. Um, then uh let's see if I can get to it here. Um, Joe is telling Sin. I was adopted. I grew up in Philadelphia in what would be considered an old family. I'm not close to either of my parents. I have no clue where my birth parents are, and I came to Caldwell for a job after I got out of college. Not married, wouldn't mind it, but it's not a priority. Just moved into that apartment after living with some frat boys. I only just started reporting on things at the paper. I was hired to be an online editor, and I have a feeling I'm going to be out of work again soon. Things are not going well for you with the Courier Journal. You could say that. Um, she talks about it. Oh, she was the investigator, the supernatural investigator, and then she talks about her father's still alive and still live in the house she grew up in. And she doesn't have anything in common with them. And where does she say? But she tells him about the rest of the stuff. Okay, then she goes home to see her folks, and because she wants to try and find Manny, and she wants information, and her father doesn't have anything to give her. And so then we do some more fighting with the Lessers, and Butch and V have some more discussions with each other about Butch fulfilling the prophecy. And then Lassiter arrives and does some stuff. He pulls some shit. Then they go to the school. Oh, good God. I have got to get her down from there. I have got to get her down. Excuse me. When your cat climbs on top of the fireplace. Okay. So, um, they go up to that school where the Lessers were hanging out, and they have a big, all the brothers gather, and Joe and Sin are there, and they gather and they fight the Lessers, and they win. And apparently they're down to 4 Lessers. There are only 4 Lessers left. But I wanted to. I didn't write down the. Um. Let's see if I can get this. So they're doing the fighting, and they call the surgical unit, and she just comes out and says it. Wait a second. Okay. So they arrive at the scene in their mobile van. You know, they have this mobile van that they've been treating patients on the battlefield. And Manny shows up, and he steps out of the van, and Joe says, Manuel Manello, Joe heard herself say. Dr. Manuel Manello, former chief of surgery of St. Francis Medical Center, missing and unaccounted for. The man stopped dead. Do I know you? Her heart pounding, breath short, head spinning, Joe said roughly, I'm your sister. Okay? We've been waiting for that for how many books now? And they do some more fighting, and Sin tries to stop being a brother, but V talks him back into it. Joe had a porter had told Joe that Sin was an assassinator and that he was working for the gangster and that he had been hired to kill her. And then the reporter a couple of days later comes back with an extended version of the video and says that he killed these people to protect you. It's specifically stated in the video that he's killing them so they don't kill Joe early. It specifically said. And then she feels better about Sin, and they have their little makeup session. And then we have, there's a point in the book where uh Butch meets this girl who claims to be an old friend of his sister's from childhood. She knows all about Butch, his history, his family. So he believes her when she says she's an old friend of his sister's and they grew up together, blah blah blah. And she had gotten, she claims, and she that she was in an abusive relationship, and that her boyfriend beat her up and she was running away. And Butch tries to get her to go to the police. He tries to get her to go to the safe house. He tries to get her to help her medically with hospital. She refuses all that. She asks him to come to her home to make, well, first he does it just to make sure she got home safely. Then she cons him into going inside her apartment, and she's looking at all her designer clothes, and he decides he's a clothes whore, and she's taking off her clothes and taking a bath, and the whole time Butch is saying that he is solid with Marissa is the woman for him. He's not gonna, go against her or anything, and he gets out free and clear. V calls him on it later when he tells V, but he says nothing happened. I didn't touch the woman. I was trying to help her, and then he takes V back to the location where the woman's apartment is. There's no building there. There's no door there. There's nothing there, and Butch now thinks he's going bonkers. And then we have the final encounter. Well, the Omega has words with his sister, the the scribe virgin tells him that she has stepped down. She is given the powers of overseeing the race to someone else. He did not know that, and he tells her that he cannot they cannot kill him because there has to be good and evil. It cannot just good does not exist by itself. Evil cannot just exist by itself. Although some days I think there are just evil in this world. And she agrees that their father made two. There has to be two at all times, a good and evil. So the Omega feels that he cannot be killed, because if he gets killed, then the scribe virgin gets killed, and the whole thing gets up. But, but, okay. So I will leave that cliffhanger for you to find out. But. The book does have a climactic ending. It's heart wrenching. It's all good, but it stirs your emotions. You're like, oh, Wrath, that's so sweet. She did this for you. But I know it's coming in future books. I've heard the stuff that I've read all the stuff online. So I know I'm not ready to see it happen, but I know it's gonna happen. But there's a really cute moment with Wrath at the end of the book with Beth and the kid and George. It's a beautiful little moment, heartfelt moment at the end. We have a moment with Butch and V and Sin. They have their moment, and the race, the war is over. There are no more lessers yet, and we have a new bad. The scribe virgin is fine. We have a new yang to her yin, or a new bad to her good. And I think I'll leave that for you to discover in the book. Who the person is, male or female, and because we don't know what their intentions are yet. So you'll have to read it and let me know. But this was really, I was having doubts about this book until it really picked up towards the end. I guess in the late 40s and 50s when I really got into it. And after Butch met the scribe virgin, I was worried that he was tempted by this lady from his childhood and all that kind of stuff. But it was good. It was good. It was really good. So please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and let me know I'm doing a good job. Don't forget to check out my Star Trek Next Generation recaps on Friday, my If Thens on Fridays, and my Flashback Mondays, where we talk about all the books in this magazine. So please hit the like and subscribe for me. Thank you.